welcome, fellow yogins. My name is Danielle, and as always, I'm so glad to see you here. So, if you are here, that means that most likely you are a little curious about yin yoga and just want to know more about what it is. Maybe you've seen it on the schedule somewhere nearby, but you're not ready to do it in person. Maybe someone's recommended it to you, or you've seen people talking about it, and you don't know, is this right for me or not? So hopefully this will be just a good, well-rounded class to get you introduced to it, get you comfortable with it, and inspire you to maybe add it to your regular yoga routine every week or so. So we're going to be doing just a couple of key poses, key shapes, just introduce you to everything and get you on your way. And the key thing to know about yin yoga is different from vinyasa, more hatha dynamic yoga, is it's a slower practice. We're getting into our connective tissue. We're trying to stretch our joints, not our muscles. So it consists of fewer poses, but longer holds. So we're trying to get into a pose, embody it, and soften. And the more we can soften, the more we can move that stretch from our muscles and into the joints. And over time, those are the parts of our body that take the longest, they're the hardest to open. So the more we can soften and do this yin practice over time, the better our flexibility will be in time. So with yin, I like people to know what they're doing, know what's coming. So I always like to do a timer. We're going to be doing 3-minute holds on each pose with a bell in between to let us know when it's time to transition to the next pose. So that gives you plenty of opportunity to relax, to soften, and then just be until you hear that bell letting us know to move. So I have some blocks, some pillows. Props are always great in yin, but never required, but they really help give you that support. So grab some blocks if you would like them, and we will go ahead and get started. So we're trying to get you in and out and on our way. So we are going to get started today in butterfly pose. So just committing to it right at the beginning and starting to get familiar and comfortable. We're going to go ahead and set up in a butterfly shape. So we're bringing our feet together with the sides of the feet kind of spreading out as if it were a book, and trying to get our knees to relax in. So you can kind of play with the space of the feet. Maybe you want them wider, farther out. Maybe you want them closer in. Just kind of see what feels comfortable. And if it's really tight and hard for you to soften in, this is a great place to take some blocks under your knees. You can have them up higher or maybe up lower. It just kind of depends on the day. Sometimes it feels good, sometimes it doesn't. Always just an option. But I'm going to go ahead and take them. And then grow tall. Shoulders are down the spine. Maybe your hands are on your thighs, your knees. Maybe you're grabbing onto your feet. And then maybe we're staying with this, or maybe we're just starting to round in. And if you really want to soften in, you can take a pillow and hug it to give you just a little bit more support to round in. Or maybe it's already enough sensation and you're staying up tall. You're welcome to stay here too. You know, we've got a minute here that we've been playing with it. So just kind of see what feels right and then soften in. So the more we can soften into a pose, the more we can be in that pose, the better the benefits will be. And as we hold this pose, as we feel that stretch change and move deeper into our joints, the more we soften and can move deeper. So as we're moving here, seeing if we can tuck our chin, maybe soften in deeper. Maybe rounding the spine a bit. Can we have our upper body grow heavy? And just breathe. Maybe we're closing the eyes, and that gives us the ability to really focus on the breath. So just for the rest of this pose, can we focus on inhale and exhale? Got about 30 seconds left. So where can I soften? Where can I find a little bit more space? With every breath, can we let go of a little something more? And just notice what we're feeling right now. All right, there is our cue to release. So starting to come back up, moving any props out of the way. We are going to shift a little bit deeper into that forward fold by going into caterpillar pose. So this is our seated forward fold, and lots of variations here. We can have our legs out straight. If you are very flexible, you can leave those legs straight and just round in. But a lot of us, especially early in the morning, for me, I'm really tight, so bend your knees as much as you need to and give you the space to round in. So we're focusing on that upper flexion in the spine. Maybe we want to take a block underneath the knees, maybe on high setting or lower setting. Maybe we want to take a pillow and hug it and round in. Or maybe we want to take a block on your thighs and bring the forehead down that way. Just kind of play with whatever shape is feeling good. But ultimately, as long as we are sitting, flexing the spine, forehead hanging down, and maybe our arms growing heavy, this is all that we need to do. And I think for me today, I'm going to take that forehead on a block, let my shoulders hang, let my arms lay by my sides with my palms up, and just breathe. So depending on how early it is in the day, your legs might not be straight, and that is okay. Get that bend in the knees, large or little. Sometimes you might need to adjust if you've gone too deep, and that's okay too. We want to try to keep that stretch out of our low back. And so bending the knees actually helps us stretch our calf, our hamstrings, my bad. So now that we've been in it for about a minute or so, how can we soften deeper? With every breath, can we let go of a little something? And then just scan the body for where are we holding tightness? Maybe imagining this caterpillar pose. It's a pose of potential, of regeneration, of preparing for growth. So how can you find some space and some nurturing to become that bigger, beautiful butterfly in time? Just got a few seconds left. So where more can we soften? And breathe deeply into our back line. And then we release. All right, so we've gone deep into flexion. We're going to go a little bit into some extension with our Sphinx pose. So we're moving our blocks out of the way and coming to laying on our bellies. And again, we're going to play with the form, but if we have our nice cobra tail behind us, that's going to bug me, sorry. So cobra tail, legs are squeezing into each other. Ultimately, we want our elbows underneath our shoulders, but that might be a little bit too much. So we can play with bringing our arms out in front of us, but our palms are facing down. We're kind of pressing into the earth to really keep our arms, our shoulders really active and extending tall through the crown of the head. Maybe playing with this, and maybe this is a place where we want a pillow under our chest to help you soften in a little bit more. And maybe we can slide those elbows out a bit more. We just want a little bit of a heart opener of that front line opening. So just kind of playing with our elbow placement. And maybe as we open up, we can walk those elbows back a little bit more. And one day they'll be directly under our shoulders. So we've been in it a little bit. How can we soften? And as we warm up to it and open further, sometimes I like to take a block under my forehead and just let my forehead rest down. And so doing this, it gets a little bit of a neck stretch, a little bit more of a shoulder stretch. The main action here, we're focusing on leading with the heart, shining the heart forward and up, going into a little bit of a back bend. So we only add the forehead in as long as we can maintain that shape in our shoulders. So we're constantly gently pressing into the floor, extending tall, and then softening and breathing deeper. We've got 1 minute left. So now that we've explored it, now that we've played with it a bit, how can we find some space and some softness to better embody this shape? With every breath, can you soften in a little deeper? Maybe softening the jaw, softening the brow, and feeling our roots connecting in with the earth, our arms, our hips, our toes, supporting us and giving us the space to lift up out of. And letting every breath just washing over us, melting away that stress. All right, coming back up out of it, we're going to make our way into a little bit of a hip opener. So maybe bringing our hands underneath our shoulders and gently starting to press us up into tabletop. We might need a minute or moment here just to do some cat-cow, just bring that spine back into neutral, maybe some hip circles. So get that relief just for a moment, and then we will go into our dragon pose. So coming in from tabletop, we're going to take our right leg first and bringing it to the outside of our right hand. And then maybe we're adjusting our left knee back a little bit. We're just kind of going into this low lunge, lizard lunge kind of variation. And this might be a lot. This might be too much for you. You might need to be up higher, and that's okay. So maybe we're taking our blocks into our hands and allowing us to come up taller. It's going to bring the earth a little bit closer, a little bit higher up. And then we're just trying to feel some activation in our left hip flexor. So breath by breath, imagining sinking that hip down and extending tall through the spine. Our right foot is active. We're pressing into the earth a bit just to keep our joints safe. Maybe we're staying here, or maybe as we open up, we start to go a little bit lower. And again, this is an intense pose, but we're just here for 3 minutes. And we're already almost halfway through. So commit, breath by breath. Can we go a little bit deeper? Maybe if you're feeling really warm, you can go fully deeper. You could go down to your elbows, but that can be a lot for people, especially if you're not quite open and warmed up. So maybe play with it for a breath, and if it feels too much, we have permission to pack out. And breath by breath, softening in. Maybe closing the eyes. It really helps to focus the breath. And then committing to that softness. Where am I holding right now? Where are my muscles tensing? Can we soften and allow the stretch to move to the parts of our body that need it the most? We got just over 20 seconds left. So commit. Breath by breath, we are in a new pose. So ask yourself, can I be in here for one more pose, one more breath? And then reset and begin again. All right, we're gently starting to maybe tuck that back toe, start to sink our hips back, maybe shake our hips side to side. As you're ready, coming back to tabletop. And giving some cat-cows, just bringing the spine, those hips back to neutral, giving them some release. And then as we're ready, going on to the other side. So preparing for that left leg, taking our left leg, left foot to the outside of the left hand, and then maybe walking that right knee back, untucking the toes. And again, same options, just a different side. Maybe we're staying up high. Maybe we're grabbing those blocks again that allow us to go a little bit deeper, breath by breath. And sometimes the challenge is knowing when to do less and giving yourself permission to do less. We want to go deeper into the pose, but is that our body asking us to go deeper? Or is that our ego trying to run the show? And our ego, it's important, right? It's helping us to get through the poses of life amid day to day busyness and craziness, and that's important. So, just now on our mat, just for a few minutes every day, can we let the body lead? And softening in. We're a little over halfway. So, can we go a little deeper and then just reassess? Have we gone too far? And if so, that's okay. We're looking for sensation, not pain. So if there's sharpness, if there's so intense that we can't breathe, our breath is caught in our throats and our chest, that's a sign from your body that we've gone a little too far. So just backing out just a bit maybe gives you more space and giving yourself permission to play. We got about 40 seconds left. So can we recommit? Where am I feeling that sensation? Is it too intense? How can I soften? Maybe we're going a little deeper. Maybe just a little deeper, not all the way. And then coming back to that breath. Softening the jaw, softening the brow. We tend to hold a lot in our faces, or at least I do. All right, gently starting to maybe tuck our back toes, maybe not. Start to sink our hips back, bringing that left knee to meet the right. And then resetting, getting that blood flowing, resetting our joints. And then we're going to make our way onto our back for a cradle pose. So probably moving the blocks out of the way. We won't need them for a bit. Coming down. Maybe our arms aren't in front of us to use our strong core to come down. And then taking a moment to bring our knees into our chest. So we want our feet side by side, not crisscrossed. And then maybe we're grabbing our hands, maybe forearms, maybe we can grab opposite elbows. And just taking a few minutes in this pose to just really ground down with the earth. So maybe we're slightly tucking our chin. We want our full spine on the floor one day. We're rolling our shoulders down our back, really drawing those shoulder blades in towards center. And then just seeing, where can I soften? Where can I grow heavy? And really connect with the earth. So this is a great compression pose. So the more we can really feel our breath and our bellies pressing up against our thighs, the better the compression benefits will be. So imagining like a tourniquet-like effect on our veins, on our blood, getting that fresh blood flowing back in when we release. So can I pull my knees in a little deeper? Simultaneously, maybe just a gentle press of the knees into the forearms will help that low spine get just a little bit lower. And then holding that depth, softening in deeper. Maybe meditating on the breath for a moment. Inhale, peace, and exhale, space. And giving yourself permission to just be in whatever it is that you need to be. All right, gently start to release. Maybe we take our feet, ground them down for a moment, maybe do little windshield wipers, bringing that movement, that depth back into our muscles. And then we're going to go into a supine thread the needle. So bringing our legs up in front of us to start, starting with that right leg. We're going to bend the knee, bring that right foot on top of the left thigh, and then taking our hands, threading them in, maybe behind the left thigh. Maybe we're bending the left leg and grabbing on just below the left knee. So either option, maybe play with it, experiment, and then commit. And then we're taking that right arm and we're trying to kind of press that right knee out to the side. We're making a little figure four with our legs. And then we're pulling that left knee in. And the deeper you pull, the more sensation you're going to feel on that right outer hip, right hamstring. And keeping our feet flexed, it keeps the joints, the muscles a little active, keeps our joints a little safer. And then when you found your depth, hold there, maybe back out just 5%, and then find that space to soften. And again, we're trying to root down to the floor, so trying to get our full spine on the floor one day. So where can I find a little bit more length? Can I bring my shoulders a little lower? Can I tuck my chin a little deeper? And then can I soften? And then maybe noticing the longer we hold the pose, the more stillness we can find, the more movement can happen in the stretch over time. So maybe just noticing where the stretch is now and where does it move as we hold it longer. And breathing through it. Where can I soften? Maybe can I pull that knee in a little deeper? Right, and there's our chance to release. We're going to go a little bit deeper into this shape. So maybe taking our hands out to the side, we're going to take our legs exactly as they are and just topple them over to our left for a little supine twist. So maybe you are keeping your legs as they are. Maybe you're taking your left hand to your right knee and pressing it open to kind of get into that inner hip. Or maybe you're taking it and pulling that knee in deeper to get into the outer hip. So we can keep our legs like this. Maybe this is a nice stretch for you. Or if you want to go to like that more traditional shape, we're going to take that right leg and stacking it on top of the left, having our legs kind of mirror in that little 90-degree bend. So whatever feels good in the legs, maybe that right leg is raised, maybe it's not. And then trying to focus on this opening on the right side. So we're trying to get our shoulders flat on the floor one day and our knees stacked the one day. And maybe we need a little bit of space. Maybe it's too deep. This is actually a great place. If it is a little too deep, to take a block. Maybe you're taking that block between your knees and that gives you enough space. Maybe you're taking the block underneath both. So you can kind of play with that. And then when you find the feeling that is right for you, find the space to soften. Maybe our head is in neutral or just staring at the ceiling. Maybe we're turning to one side or the other, kind of playing with what feels good in your body today. And sometimes it might be too intense on the neck, so kind of assessing if you need to back out, you have permission. We never want to go to the point of pain. So where can we find some grace and ease in this shape? And then going back to our breath. So really imagining sending the breath to that right rib, and every inhale, finding that expansive space all along the right side. And then every exhale, growing deeper, sinking heavier, feeling a little depleted and ready to begin again. And as we've been holding this shape, just, what do we notice? Where has the stretch moved? Has it softened? Has it increased? Just trying to get familiar with our body. Right, and then is our sign to release. So bringing those blocks out of the way, bringing our knees back in through center, and then we will do those same two shapes on the other side. So bringing our shoulders, grounding them down, bringing our legs up in front of us. Maybe holding this for a moment in this nice waterfall pose kind of feels good. But when you're ready, taking that left leg on top of the right thigh, taking your hands behind the right thigh, or maybe bending the knee and grabbing on just below the right kneecap. And again, we're flexing our feet a little bit, keeping the joints active. Our left arm is in that left knee, trying to press it open a little bit. And we're just trying to find that figure four shape with our legs on the other side. And breathing deeply, growing heavy, and gently pulling that knee in a little bit more with every breath. The beautiful thing about a beginner pose, a beginner class, the beginner mind in general, is the beginner mind is open. It has no expectations, it has no reactions, it has no agenda. It's just open and ready to experience. So, adopting that philosophy in this moment, what can I truly experience in this moment? Letting go of any expectation of what this shape should look like. It should only look like what it is and what you need. So give yourself permission to be curious and just notice. And all the while, just coming back to that breath. And as we've been holding it, maybe just noticing how has that sensation changed? Where can I let go of some tension? Where can I grow just a little heavier? Right, and then where can I release? So option again, we can keep our legs as they are and just topple them over to the side, or maybe we take our legs and we stack them, knees together, and topple those to the side. Either way, our legs are going to topple over to the right. Our arm is going to extend out to the left. And again, we might need something different side to side. We're normally not very symmetric. So if you need a different shape on this side, that's okay. So again, our options with the blocks, we can have them underneath both knees. We can have them between the knees. We can also, I guess if you wanted to put a block under your hand too, that would be another option. Just finding what we need in this moment and then playing with the neck. Can we turn from side to side or maybe just keep it neutral? Maybe we're taking that right hand on top of the knees to really ground them down, remind them to grow heavy. And then we're bringing some awareness into that left shoulder. Can we press it down a little bit more? Can we really feel it stretch from our shoulders all the way down to our left knee? And can we find some space? And sometimes the hardest part about a yin class is not the pose, but the mental battle to stay in the pose. So, in a vinyasa class, we have movement to distract the mind, to keep us present in the moment. But in yin, we have nothing but the breath to keep us grounded. And when we're not used to it, that can be really challenging. So, learning how to be still is just as important, it's just as challenging as learning how to push and to move. So, maybe just noticing, how is your mind reacting to this stillness? If you're finding it challenging, then maybe that's the sign that you need a little bit more of it, that it would be good for your body to regulate. And then, if we're better at finding stillness on the mat, it'll be that much easier to find stillness off of the mat. We're reaching the end, so where can I soften just a little bit more? And there is our sign to release. All right, so we have hit all of our main poses. All that's left to do is find our last little savasana. So you can modify as needed. Traditionally, our feet are extended out in front of us. Feet are flopped open, palms by your side, facing up to receive. So you can always take this one. Most days I like a little bit more low back support. So I like to bend my knees, take my feet mat's width, let my knees fall in, and gives you a little bit more supports. So maybe taking these, maybe taking any other variation that's calling to you. And just giving yourself some space and permission to let go and have a few moments here in beautiful silence, beautiful stillness. lights of Savasana is calling to you, you're welcome to stay a little longer. Press pause or tune me out or just do what you need to do. Otherwise, you can start to invite some movement to our fingers and toes, keeping our eyes closed as long as we can to just keep that sensation, that stimulation to a minimum. And maybe starting to bring some bigger movements, some wrist circles, some feet circles, maybe extending the arms up overhead in a big good morning stretch. And then gently rolling over to your favorite side, pausing for just a moment to let that spine come back to neutral. And then gently starting to press yourself up into a seated position. So we've started this class in a seat. We will end this class in a seat. And maybe taking a moment to notice just how you're feeling from beginning to end. Maybe your hands are on your knees to help support the chest, or maybe your hands are coming into heart center. Maybe just drawing that sensation, that awareness to that connection with our hands, and feeling a little bit more grounded and centered in body and mind. So for everything that you have shared on the mat, we all benefit off of the mat. I truly believe that. So I thank you so much for taking the time to care for yourself. Because when you care for yourself, you care for us all. So until we meet on our mats again, I bow to you and say, Om Shanti, peace, peace within, peace around, and peace to those who need it most. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. Hopefully this served you a little bit. You learned something new. Maybe you like it, maybe never again. Either way, thank you for giving it a shot. If this was helpful, I would love it if you could like, subscribe. Let's help get this content out in front of the people who need it the most. You know there's a lot of them out there. Otherwise, keep doing the good work, bringing that mindfulness that we've been cultivating into our day-to-day. And I will see you again soon. Bye.